So stupid.
Hello, welcome to part 3 of this year's Fry Clay 200 gravel race. In part 1 we rode through heavy rain, hail, and a tornado. In part 2 we trudged through some nightmarish mud for 5 hours. Part 3 will cover the last 80 miles of the race. Yes, which means that we've only actually covered 40 miles so far. Now let's pick up where we left off in part 2.
I swear to God, does it just go to the other side and continues? Yep.
Just as I thought we were back on the road, the hellish experience continues. But before that, luckily for us, a person that retired here generously gave us water because our bottles were empty. Trail magic at its best. Now let's dive back into the mud. As we left the paved road and entered the forest again, the path led to a creek crossing at the base of the mountain. It was quite deep and it actually felt quite nice for our exhausted bodies, excluding one of my toes cramping as I walked through.
It does feel great.
Now teleporting to the top of the climb, almost at its peak. Apparently I didn't even have the energy to turn the camera on, and that's kind of shown in my facial expression. The scenery up here is completely different from the base of the mountain.
Oh wow. What you got in that thing? Water. It's so strong. Tatiana.
After crossing over a fallen tree, we finally got out of the second hellish section and returned to normal gravel. After spending 5 hours in the mud, even rough gravel felt like smooth road, and my energy levels soared.
This feels like road. This is the feeling of riding.
My energy, which was in the negatives, jumped back to 1,000,000,000% upon entering this gravel section. Being able to ride the bike, pedal, and reach speeds over 2 miles an hour felt amazing and exhilarating. I kept gaining speed, and in no time we arrived at the next town, Juliette.
What's ahead?
Is this the wall high?
Yeah, the dam. It's on the other side, but yeah. We know her.
If I'm gonna stay up till 4 a.m. Oh boy. I think what it is that I don't know if the
What are you doing?
Stretching?
I say we're doing team stretch.
We rode about 200 feet on the paved road from Juliette, and that's when we noticed how loudly everyone's drivetrains were creaking. Morning rain, numerous creek crossings, and tons of mud bid farewell to our chain loop. I was preparing myself to have to listen to that until the halfway camp, 20 miles away from here, but an unexpected savior appeared in front of us later.
What a team! You got a moment, guys.
I just love the image of suffering and pain.
This third section had quite a lot of steep hills and repeated slopes ranging from 5 to 15%. There were some fantastic downhill stretches, but the second half was particularly long and challenging slopes. But after finishing the first long climb and speeding down this fast slope, we met our savior encountering his own trouble.
You good?
Falcon got a bad puncture and wasn't tubeless anymore, but the punctures kept coming. He had to use 5 tire patches in one day. But even before that, what a name. I gave him my patch kit and we all used the Spanish chain oil that he had.
I made it 100 yards on the last one, so the whole ride.
After helping each other, we continued on. Unfortunately, Falcon's newly patched tire apparently went flat again immediately after we left, so that's really tough. Unaware of this, we sped along the gravel. It was bumpy but super fun. Everyone was in super high spirits, but around this point, I started to worry a little bit about Tatiana. She seemed to be struggling a little bit, but at least as of now, we were all riding together. Soon enough, we arrived at another deep creek crossing.
That is deep today. Damn.
Save the chain lube.
Yo, yo.
Last year we left the Hadaway Camp around dusk, but this year we still had a long way to go. The extended mud section was a painful and long one, but the sunset from inside this forest was stunning.
Yeah.
I love climbing so much. Almost as much as Kai.
Hey man, Jordan was gone by here.
Okay. I guess I still got some gas in my tank.
Yeah. You'll be fine. Woo. How you doing?
Great.
Not loose?
Not loose.
Just climbing and climbing. Woo! You got it. We're about to take a break.
From here, Tatiana seemed to be suffering some more. I was the one that invited her to ride dry clay, so I was definitely making sure she makes it. But I didn't have the courage to point a camera at someone struggling, so I secretly filmed. The slopes around here were really steep, and I think it's really tough with her gear ratio. The first time I rode here with the same gear ratio, I walked all of these hills, so she's truly amazing. I started to think she might DQ and return to camp around here since there was still about 65 miles left, but we decided to take a break at the halfway Hadaway Camp and discuss.
Finally. Woo! Excellent work. Halfway more to go. Sorry.
Don't worry, we will not enjoy.
After talking to everyone at camp, we decided to keep going till the end. We started back up around 10 p.m. and it was pitch black outside and we could hear the sounds of frogs and bugs everywhere. It was actually pretty humid, unlike last year where it was freezing in the single digits, so I brought a jacket this year but definitely didn't need it. At first we all rode together, but eventually we spread out a bit during the night. The highlight for me was Chris leaving his own brother behind in the dark with no GPS. Well, there were some rough gravel sections, but most of it was relatively easy gravel, although you did need to be careful of a few drop-offs.
That is a massive drop-off.
Honestly, riding in the dark was incredibly enjoyable this year. Jordan wasn't there, so we only took 2 breaks, and we finished quickly. I think this footage shows one of the breaks with about 20 miles left.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Pretty alright.
Nice.
Insane.
We're actually really close too, so.
Come on, you gotta look over here. You gotta show how happy you are.
Yes, I'm so happy. There's the other half of my revolution donut.
Nice. Donut break.
And there it is. We safely reached the finish line at around 3 a.m. We celebrated together with joy. Tatiana, Liston, and Nathan, who were all experiencing their first 200-kilometer gravel race, were extremely happy.
Golly day. I did not think this was going to happen.
All right, let's get our bikes over there. Take a little team pic. Come on, let's go to bed. We did it.
Oh, we gotta cheer for that dude.
Good job, Chris.
Oh man, we did it.
After taking some photos together, we cleaned our bike and bodies with the hose since everyone's shoes and feet were all muddy.
Finally reached a comfortable temperature.
After that, we returned to the car. Everyone immediately went to sleep, but I unpacked my bags and organized my stuff, and you'll know why in a moment. I also don't like going to bed all dirty, so I went to wash up with a change of clothes and a towel. There I saw Liston, who seemed to run out of adrenaline and couldn't move from the hose spot. In the end, he returned to the car with trembling legs like a baby deer. By the way, this photo is Liston in the next day at home.
Sing it. No. No.
Now moving on to the next day. It was pouring rain. Terrifying amount of rain and thunder, which is why I packed everything during the night and slept in a small sedan holding my 5'10" body. Tatiana had some bad luck, you could say, as she set up her tent in a dip, leading to her sleeping bag getting soaked and she woke up drenched. So we quickly packed everything up and used the heater to the max and headed home. She still got sick apparently though, so tough luck.
An eventful?
So eventful. I can't remember the last time I felt this way because I don't think I ever have. Oh man.
Wow. Yeah, you were like, you are actually in a pool of water.
Like there was like a water bubble under my tent and I was like floating on it.
In the morning, we were planning to go to Waffle House like last year, but since Tatiana was soaking wet, the two of us decided to just go back home. Chris and the others apparently drove through flooded roads and completely submerged bridges to get home.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a floodplain.
Woo, we're done. Woo.
By the way, when I first picked up Tatiana, her wheels were loose, and when I dropped her off, they were still loose.
Not loose.
Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Apparently I shifted gears 2100 times during this ride. I'll see you in the next video.